Hello, ladies and gentlemen, crypto deep divers. Welcome back to Weekly Crypto. So today I'm going to talk about inflation and how this can wipe out the middle class. And there's some statistic released by the Social Security Administration, and the numbers were stunning. And before we get into that, make sure to subscribe to my channel so don't miss out the upcoming videos that could be time sensitive and could be important. Also, you can follow me on Bitchute. Bitchute, I usually post this type of video that I can't talk about in YouTube. If you're interested, you can go over there and check out this type of video. And I also on Odysee. Odysee is a decentralized YouTube. You can earn library token just by joining Odysee or just by watching video. If you're interested, you can click the link below. That will help out my channel as well. And I'm also on Gather as well. Of course, Twitter. Fun stuff I usually post in Rumble. And I also have a Patreon group. If you're interested, you can join my Patreon group as well. So let's talk about the inflation and what the statistic that the Social Security Administration just released. Basically, inflation is destroy the standard of living. Middle class is shrinking because you have to pay a little bit more each day. And right now, the inflation you're talking about 20 to 30%, depending on what items you're talking about. And of course, the CPI is misleading. They're talking about maybe less than 10%, no more than that, right? So right now, half of all the American workers make less than $3,133 a month last year. And once upon a time, this could be, you can live very comfortably as a middle class lifestyle, right? No, but not anymore because of inflation. And this is just put you just above the poverty line. This is based on the statistic. And this doesn't look good. So if you look at the report, this is pulled from the report from Social Security Administration, the wages report. More than 30% of the Americans make less than 20,000 last year. More than 41% of Americans make less than 30,000. More than 50% of all Americans make less than 40,000 last year, and more than 62% make less than 50,000 last year. Oh my goodness! And this number are just most Americans are just barely scraping by, and of course our leaders want us to buy into illusion that most people are doing well nowadays. But of course that's not true. When you go to the supermarket, when you're at the gas pump, when you do buy all the basic necessity, everything go up and up almost every day. And if you don't buy it now, the next week it will maybe 10% more or 15% more, or maybe out of stock. This is insane. It has never happened before, right? So according to the Social Security Administration, the median wage for 2021 was just $37,586. That was the median wage for 2021, and 50% of the wage earner had net compensation less than or equal to the median wage, which is estimated to be maybe 37,586. And if you're living in the 80s, that is still fine, but the thing is, we are not in the 80s anymore. Right now, you're talking about in 2022, the poverty line for a household of five in the US is 31,000, the poverty level. Oh my goodness. And that means a worker in the US making the median wage would be earning just enough to lift a family off the poverty line. If you divide the 37,586 by 12, which means you're making 3,132 a month. And half of the American workers make more than that per month, and half of all the Americans make less than that per month. That's not good. And meanwhile, the cost of living has been spiral out of control. You're talking about the average rent for a single family home. You're talking about like 2,400 or 2,500 just renting a single family home. I guess it's a 3-bed, 2-bath, I guess. So the rent price of a single family home has been skyrocketing, and a national average of $2,495 a month, 13.4% increase compared to the same period in 2021. Wow, that's a lot. That's huge. I mean, usually in terms of real estate, they don't increase that much. Like maybe 5% is already significant. You're talking about 13.4%. If you are only earning 3,133 a month, you have to spend like 2,495 a month, that means you have lived nothing. You are living next to nothing for everything else, right? I mean, how about the groceries? How about basic necessity? And how about you have to pay your power bills and all that, electricity, gas, and everything. And right now, when you go to a grocery store, if shopping, if you like these days, if you go to a grocery store and then if you have a full shopping cart full of groceries, you will easily run up more than $300. I mean, that's insane. And back in the 80s, a gallon of gas is 31 cents. Now, depending on which state you're living, if you're living in the state of California, you're talking about $7 a gallon. And heating bills, we're heading into a winter month. Heating bills are insane as well. And along with the health insurance has been skyrocketing. And they're talking about like the worst housing crash since 2008 has now started. The financial markets are on the pace for the worst year since 1969, and big companies all over America are starting to lay off people in large number. So the big tech basically already lay off people. I think at the beginning of this year they already lay off people, but no mainstream media talk about it, right? The big tech, they're very fast in terms of lay off people, hire people. They are very fast compared to a traditional company. And Microsoft already lay off 1,000 employees, and even Jeff Bezos talk about. I think he sent a tweet. The probability of this in this economy tell you to better down the hatcheries. So I think he tweeted after Goldman Sachs CEO. There's a good chance of recession. We're already on a recession. Come on, but no mainstream media talk about. You have 2 consecutive negative growth is considered recession already, but nobody talk about it. We're already in a recession. It's an election season. They don't want to bring so many bad news, and of course the mainstream media is controlled by a lot of people. Excuse me. So right now in the middle class steadily eroding. And I mean, this is not good. Right now, we are looking for green. I mean, they are still pushing for the green energy. This is ridiculous. I mean, if the inflation that high, you're still pushing for green energy. You're pushing for electric vehicle. You're pushing for don't use fertilizer and all that. Yeah. So if you look at what happened to Sri Lanka has the highest ESG score, those environmental score, right? The highest ESG score, and yet they go bankrupt. And the inflation is like 120 over. I think they have an inflation 128%. So before they implement all this ESG thing, they were fine, And I think in the they have a new I think the new president or something in 2019. They want to win the country off the fertilizer with a 10-year transition to organic farming, and then but then he expedited the plan to ban all the synthetic fertilizer or pesticide. Yeah, but the thing is, if your country has the resources to do it, that's fine. But no, but you're bringing country down to downward spiral. Just in Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka has the highest ESG score, and yet they go bankrupt, and then they have an inflation over 128%. And right now, U.S. is wanting everybody to go to the green energy. But the thing is, if your inflation is not controlled, you just add oil to the fire basically. If you don't have any inflation, yeah, you can push for green energy thing. If you do go for green energy, that means you have to pay higher on the energy fuel and everything. I mean, those are not cheap. But a lot of people, they don't understand. They just say, hey, they want to control everybody in the name of climate change and everything. Things are not as simple as you think. I mean, in most of the if you look back in history, Venezuela, all this country like South American countries, they've gone through Zimbabwe, they've gone through hyperinflation. Which group of people are wiping out? The middle class, of course, right? And people who are really, really the top 1%, they're not going to be wiped out because they don't I mean, they have asset producing income, and then they don't have to be worried about that. And then they want to be, of course, they want inflation because they want to inflate the debt away, right? So who is the largest debtor debtor in the country? So you have the answer, right? So things are not that simple, and they want inflation basically, and this is what they want. And eventually, the middle class is going to wipe out, unfortunately. So just to go back in history, look at Venezuela, look at Zimbabwe, look at some other country that has gone through the hyperinflation. Then you know what you're talking about. Right now, it doesn't look good. I mean, I think some people, they just concerned about this, but the thing is, you have a bigger picture than this. Something else is bigger than this. But anyway, if you find this video helpful, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, also share with friends. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out the upcoming video that could be time sensitive and could be important. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, Gather, as well as Bitchute and Odysee, and of course you can follow me on Rumble for fun video, fun stuff, and also you can join my Patreon group if you're interested. So remember, crypto deep divers, we the people take control of our wealth. Stay wise, stay safe, peace. I'm not your financial advisor. Investing in cryptocurrency, commodity, and stock market can have inherent risks. Please use the due diligence. This video is only for entertainment purposes, not a financial advice. I'm not responsible for any loss or future loss for this video or future video. This is, as I said, is for entertainment purposes. You should consult with your financial planner if you have any questions about your investment. And peace out.